Recently, Israel and the U.S. seem to disagree on several big issues, with public statements made on both sides which attest to that fact. Are the relations between the two allies at risk, and why the tension? We spoke to one of Israel's experts on national security in an attempt to find out. There have been reported tensions between the U.S. and Israel. Do you believe that to be the case, and where do such tensions stem from?
There are tensions, but they have been there before and they will be there in the future. But they are not an impediment to the strong basic relations between Israel and the United States. I would call this a slight or tactical disagreements on certain issues, such as how do we deal with the peace process with the Palestinians, and mostly on the Iranian nuclear program. I think that it will be very important to find a way to try and close the gaps that exist in our views, the U.S. views and the Israeli views. We have to take it into consideration that from time to time we do have these disagreements.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is leading the negotiations between Israel and the Palestinian Authority, but many believe that the U.S. is no longer a key player in the Middle East the way it used to be. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that it is clear that the United States, first of all, continues to play a major role. And we obviously prefer the U.S. involvement in the process rather than all other potential mediators. The United States felt that it is possible to reach a comprehensive agreement between us and the Palestinians, and given the political constraints both in Israel and on the Palestinian side, that it is quite impossible, in my view at least, to reach a comprehensive peace.
Remarks have been made by Israeli officials, namely Foreign Minister Avigdor Lieberman in the United Nations, expressing disbelief in the process.
What I understood Foreign Minister Lieberman to say is that he doesn't think that at this time it is possible to reach a comprehensive agreement. And I'm not his spokesman, but I think that even he would prefer to have some sort of an agreement, even if it's partial, with the Palestinians. So I understand his views as reflecting his belief on the availability of a comprehensive agreement.
Now, do you believe that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is correct when expressing such a hard-line position towards the U.S. when it comes to Iran?
I think that in substance, many will agree with Prime Minister Netanyahu that it was important to raise our concerns as to the future agreement between Iran and the international community. Obviously, almost by definition, it's very difficult to reach an agreement which will be accepted on the one side by Iran and something that will be accepted by the government of Israel.
A lot of people think that tensions or disagreements are related to the fact that it is President Obama that's leading the U.S. administration. Do you agree? I
disagree with this assumption. I think that if we look at the history of the relations and what had happened in the past and steps that were taken by various administrations towards Israel, Obama certainly doesn't come up as the first one on the list of those presidents who took certain actions against Israel. I think that, yes, we have disagreements with this administration, but I don't think that we should depict President Obama as number one of the list of those who are anti-Israeli in the U.S. administration.
In a speech given in Washington, D.C., Netanyahu stressed that U.S.-Israel relations are strong and that on most topics they do see eye to eye. Meanwhile, the U.S. has expressed that it does maintain Israel's security issues at heart and that both nations share the same goals. For JN1, I'm Sivan Raviv, Israel.